going to start off today's panel with just some quick introductions. I wanted to allow each of the panelists to tell you a little bit about themselves and what personally brought them to become involved with domestic violence and intimate partner violence. We'll ask just a couple of questions, and then we really want to hear from you and have an opportunity for you to ask questions of them. So I will turn it over and start with Priscilla.
Hi. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Ursula Hubbard. I am the Executive Director for the awesome, fabulous, the Atlanta Medical Association, as well as the Heritage Fund Foundation, which is actually the philanthropic arm of Atlanta Medical Association. And I am not just being here today just to be on the panel, but I am here because I am a victim, as well as a survivor of domestic violence, as well as a horrific crime in regards to being robbed, which left me scarred for the rest of my life. I was involved in a situation where I was robbed and I was stabbed twice, cut twice. I have 75 stitches in my neck, my face, my neck, 55 in my face, and 10 on both of my legs. And I am here today also in regards to being in that particular situation as a domestic violence survivor. Through all of it, I was in a relationship with someone that was for 6 years. I was physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially abused by this individual. And coming today, I want to give an opportunity to let individuals know I may be a victim, but I'm a survivor because I did not allow my situation to overtake me. I took the situation where it was, took it, grabbed forth and said, God, you spared my life for a reason, not just for me, but I'm hoping that I can say a few words to help someone that you too can go forth and be a survivor as well.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you.
My name is Kimmy Motley. I'm a mother, I'm a teacher, and just won a distinction of Teacher of the Year for my school. And I am also a survivor of domestic violence. In 2011, my ex-husband shot me 4 times in my face, in my neck, in the back of my head, and in my back. And he shot my daughter, who was 10 years old at the time, once in the head. Neither of us were expected to live through that, but we did by God's grace. And I knew that by that situation, God was calling me to something higher. One of the stories that I share was when I was in the hospital. They have a code that they place over you to keep you safe, and my family, they weren't doing a good job of exchanging that code with one another. So many of my family members and friends weren't able to come and see me, but complete strangers were walking in to my hospital room from the street or from hospital beds saying, your story caused me to believe in God again, or your story caused me to want to leave my man when I get home. And all I could think was, Lord, who are these people and why are they coming in my room? I'm just trying to heal. But I knew then that He was calling me to help families, dealing with domestic violence. So I'm hoping that I can share something with you today that will spark something in you to make you part of this fight against domestic violence as well.
Amen.
My name is Aparna Bhattacharya. I'm the Executive Director of Raksha, which means protection in many South Asian languages. Part of the work we do is specifically with refugee and immigrant communities, especially from Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. I came to this work, let me say how I came to this work. I always knew I wanted to work on addressing domestic violence and abuse in our communities. I've known that since I was a kid. Maybe it was some movie I saw, but maybe it's also growing up in a not so perfect household, and in a community where we don't talk about problems. So part of what I have found has been my mission is to kind of break the silence and talk about the imperfections in our families, so we don't have to kind of have that fake face that we put out for the world, and that we also work towards healing. And the big parts that I see my work doing is focusing on healing, access, empowerment, and justice, and really making sure that there's access for communities where immigration and language are huge barriers, and making sure that everybody can have access to the support that they need.
And last but not least,
peace and love, everyone. I am Soo Lee Nuruddin, and I am the Director of Men's Education with Men Stopping Violence. And just a brief piece, Men Stopping Violence, for those of you who are not familiar with us, is a nonprofit social change organization with a mission to end male violence against women and girls and create safe communities for women and girls. We do that work a lot by working directly with men. And one of the initiatives that we have is a 24-week educational program that's designed for all men who want to be part of a movement to create safety. It's a place where men can come and learn and get educated on the things that we can do to be better fathers, better husbands, better men in the world, and how we can work together as allies to create safe communities. Our programs are designed for all men, regardless of whether you have a connection with the criminal legal system or you're coming on your own. However men show up, those are the men that we work with. I got into this work in 1986 when I was invited to a speak out. And when I went to that speak out, there was a woman by the name of Kathleen Carling, who was the founder and executive director for Men Stopping Violence, talking. And she began to talk about the role that men played in creating safety for women and girls, and how we needed as men to step up to the plate and bring our voices into this work and what it means. Now, Suleiman has 5 daughters in his life. And I'm not counting in that? 6 daughters. My bad. Sometimes it grows faster than you anticipate. And one of the questions that I asked myself as I was sitting in the audience, am I the man that I would want my daughters to be with? And I had to pause with that question. Because one of the things about Men Stopping Violence, in order for us to do this work in the world, we have to first do a self-examination. How am I showing up in this world? How am I creating or using aggressive behaviors in relationships? And what does that mean? And how is it affecting not only the family, but the community that I live in? And then how do I become accountable for that action and those things? So in doing this work, over the years, it's been a tremendous growth for me. And I've been blessed to travel into over 44 cities, states in the United States, to speak in over 6 countries outside of the United States and talk about this work. And I'll say one other thing as I close. I'm excited to see the men here today, because so often we don't show up. We write this off as a woman's issue when it's very much our issue. So I honor and appreciate the men who are here today, and thank you for being here.